Hello, my name is Councillor Abigail Marshall Ketchum, the 130th Lord Mayor of Leeds, and one of the 3 elected members representing Little London, Woodhouse, and the city centre. I am so pleased that you are going to be watching the history of Little London. Little London is a very, very diverse ward, is a ward that's got different nationalities represented. The Little London Primary School has got about 82 different languages spoken in that school. So we take great delight and pride in our multicultural city, and a city that's very compassionate, very diverse, and very inclusive. In this video, you're going to be hearing a lot of stories about Little London, and most importantly, you're hearing the stories from people who have lived in London for the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and even 40 years. Residents who have lived in the area and can tell you about the area and its history. So thank you to all of you who have contributed to this story. We are looking forward to hearing the joys, the lows, and all the highs that has made Little London what it is today. And I look forward to all the recordings. I look forward to seeing all the beautiful work that has been taking place in the Little London ward. Thank you all so much for your collaboration, and to all the stakeholders as well. We are truly grateful. Thank you.
That? Oh, that's up the top here.
Is it near Dobby?
Top of, no, it's further on. You know where the Hume House used to be?
Yes.
Opposite.
Well, that's a tall building now.
Yeah, that's the tall building now. That's it, yeah. That's the parade shops we're on about.
Yeah.
That's the old community centre.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Here on this side, before it became that field, that was a church just there. Remember the church that was just there? Yeah. Yeah, that's the view before the, I've got a view of when they knocked them down and they were building
They're all vegetables.
in a ring road. So that's that area when they regenerated it. Yeah. I moved to the area from Mingwood back in the early 70s. We was one of the first people on our street down in the Oatlands, because the whole area is split into like 4 separate estates. You've got the Lovells, Carltons, Oatlands and Serviers. Everybody looked out for everybody back in those early days. All the kids knew one another, the parents knew everybody's children. They didn't just look out for their own, they looked after the other children that were growing up. Yeah, it was a very, very close-knit community. And like you say about leaving doors open, I even know of people that used to leave an envelope with money in the milk bottle on the doorstep for the milkman. Nobody would even dream of taking it. Nobody would even dream of taking it.
Grandfather who bought the property, and it was my father with his brothers and sister who actually grew up in this area. And then when my father got married, my mum came as well from Pakistan. She stayed, I think, about a year in the area, and then they decided to demolish the street where my grandfather was living.
What street was that?
Leicester Grove.
Right.
And apparently 2 streets got demolished, and then I think the local authority decided we're going to repair the properties, not demolish them. But by the time we got paid out, they moved to Hales, and I was born in Hales and I grew up in Hales.
Lived most of our lives in Blackburn Lane area, grew up in the place. And then from there we moved to Blenheim Square, and then we moved down to Little London here. And you got a lot of contacts with each other, with kids cycling up and down different areas. You know, like you were saying, you knew people, you could leave your doors open, etc. There wasn't so much problems. There was a lot of joy when you were younger, because you had people like, there were 3 or 4 people that kept pigeon racing, did pigeon races. Those were the idyllic times that I remember. You know, because I did that, race pigeons as well and things like that. And you'd get to know different families and cultures. As the years went by, more and more cultures got together, you see.
You could go out as a child in the area, growing up, and I think Bert will back me up on this. If you were from down here and you went up towards Blackman Lane, you had a ball or a cricket set, fancy a game of cricket, the amount of people that would come out and join in, there was a lot of integration.
Yeah.
You could walk the area and nobody would say a word to you as a child. You could knock on people's door, ask for a drink of water, they'd oblige you, no matter what colour, creed or race.
Came over in 1967 with my family. First school I went to was a Little London, down at the bottom there.
Oh.
Because my English wasn't so good. So it was like learning, picking up. And the Yorkshire ain't one of the best languages. It was a bit difficult to settle down language, you know, barrier, but we got over that. I studied hard, played around with local lads, and it was great. There was no such thing as colour, white, black, green. We were just human being, and we left door open. Anybody comes in, young kids on the street, can have a drink, help yourself. Have a food, help yourself. We fed them. I went to their house, they fed me. So it was just same. It didn't matter. We had a shop on Blackman Lane. Lillian, lovely lady. She had a little toy shop, and if you wanted out, just help yourself.
Yeah,
And you give her something.
Yeah, she used to replay clothes.
Yeah,
so.
and I went to Bleming School to Mrs. Kimley's, and what she says, okay, it was a half a penny, grab a handful of your sweets, so for me having big hands, I grabbed them, said, no, my friend wanted, said no. She let me do it one, no you can't do it because you take more sweets. Me and Bert grew up together and his brother.
I moved down here in 1979, so it's almost 45 years, can you believe that? So my son and my last child was born in the house that I'm in. They were brand new, spanking new, moved from Chapeltown down here. And all our neighbours, I mean, we all got on. It was just a nice little group. The kids, as you said, they all went to Little London School and nursery, and they just made friends. We have parties for the children, everybody came. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like this colour thing. I don't think my children ever came home and said, I was called this or that. My daughter's called Thea, and she says, why did you call me Thea? I wish I was called Tracy.
Well, I came to England in '66 just as they won the World Cup. I came from St Kitts. Dozen of us came up on the boats and stuff like that. And we settled up in Grosvenor Avenue, which is up, what we're up there. Got to know these lot, scallywags. And we always looked after one another. You have to do. Grew up, mates. Might have the little fights we used to have, but next day, forgotten, you know what I mean?
Looking after one another.
Oh yeah. That's what we all did. And got a flat in Lovells. Ooh, what was that? Must have been about 10, 15 years in there. Then I bought a house over there off a couple of new because they were moving. So I've lived there since then.
Little London has changed so much. You know, it's just like state of the art now to what it was before. I'm just really surprised it's come to this. You know, it's a really good thing. It's good for the people of London, good for the community. The housing is so much better. Yeah, the development and, you know, everything looks so clean. And back in the day, it was like Coronation Street. You know, all the boarded up houses and terrace houses and cobble roads and everything now is seemed to be they spend a hell of a lot of money to change it all. It's a really nice place to be actually. It seems like very obviously I don't know people around here anymore because everybody seems to be new. Yeah, they're all new faces and but it seems very peaceful and it seems a really nice place to be.
One thing I'd like to talk about the school. When I came, the school, there was a fire, I don't know how many years before, but they were in temporary accommodation. It was like down to the bottom. And now they've got a brand new school. And I think it's either 2 or 3 form entry. I'm not quite sure. I know it was 3 in the when it was recently built. I'm not sure if it's still 3 form entry. So that's something good. And the at one point, because I was a governor there, in the reception there was 16 children, and now I think it's way over 60 at one point. Not 60, it was up to 90. So there were 3 reception classes, 3 year 1 classes, 3 year 2 classes. So that's something good. So it shows, and the rating was very good. They were very good on the league tables, and so people, there was always a waiting list to get into Little London School, and Blenheim is just up there as well.
And I think maybe like more opportunities to be in contact with each other. Because from what I've heard, you guys are all friends because you all played outside together and you all bonded over something other than school or your home life, you had an opportunity. And I think I'm probably the last generation of kids who played outside in the streets where you were still allowed to, kick a ball over someone's fence and then go and fetch it and be friends with their kid. And you now know a whole world's, like you see someone else's home, you get to smell their food and meet their parents and see that it's different from yours. And I don't think we have so much opportunity to do that anymore, or at least kids don't.
I can see the changes just from being in that street.
Yeah.
Because now every family in my street is either an Asian or another person, another nationality, African, and we're just a mixed bunch. Whereas when we moved there were just 2, say, Caribbean families in that street. So I could see the diversity just in that street.
But I feel like, maybe that's the place where you can find that, like, connection again, is creating opportunities for, like, the kids to create something together or to be a bit more inventive with their imagination, make a box out of something or build a toy or design the local park even,
In the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and some point of the 90s, there was no things as rules and regulations. We could do anything. We used to have local parks with slides. There was no such thing as a health and safety. Now, whatever you need to do, you need to go through the regulations, health and safety. Is it safe or if it's not safe? I think our time was the best times.
It was.
And our elders' time was even better.
Yes.
Integration is a choice, largely. And I just want to put that out because if we say integration is a choice, which means we can choose not to actually get out of our own cultural circle where everybody speaks the same language that I understand clearly and people understand me clearly. How do we, because integration is 2 ways. It's not just about me expecting me to integrate. What about giving me the opportunity to integrate? Because if I feel that I'm not welcome, then are you really stopping me from integrating? And if you don't create the space for me to meet with you, to be part of this larger group, how do we promote that integration? That's what I just want to put out there, because we say Little London is a wonderful community, and how can we make it better if we're still saying that, Little London is great, but integration is still an issue. How then do we sort of remove those barriers to create an integrated society?
By learning different languages. I mean, you get a lot of European, a lot of Romanians and all that. So if you like take evening class, something like that, for example, Romanian can speak Romanian, that's a great help because you like integrating with them and you're understanding where they're coming from. They can explain to you. Now, they can't speak English. Now, that's one of them. The other one is the development regarding us building, how they build, because you've got neighbours now. My next door neighbour doesn't know me and I don't know, but I introduce myself, always do, to both sides, whom they are. And further down, like Bert said last week, through terrace houses. Now they were great, because you went out from top of street to bottom, and doesn't matter what time when, you knew someone will come out, put the rubbish in bin, or hello, or come for a smoke, and you know everybody, about 40 houses, you know every one of them. And when you see him in town, hi, yeah, all right, how you doing? I didn't see you last week. Oh, so what's happened? And we'll go straight away there. Oh, how are you? How can we help you? You know, is there anything you need? And they say, oh, great, but it's good to know. And there was that help there. We're losing all that. And like I said, the community centres, there isn't many of them. Where does these young kids go play? All right, apart from the, you know, all the games. And I mean, your kid could be playing my kids in Leeds, and you could be in Manchester, for example. And they got connections. So we need some kind of a, like say, TikTok or WhatsApp or whatever, and like to communicate each other. And then like we gathered here today, we can organise it in park, like say Hyde Park or Little Park, wherever. Get in the park, say, okay, I'll come in Sunday, join us. We get to find out each other's problem. We get to know what the children are doing. And what, like John will back me up on that, what they say is that we care for all children, doesn't matter whether they're mine or his. I'll make sure they're not in danger. And we're there to look out for each other. Like as a little London, it's like a little village to me. It was like a little village. Everybody community, whether you know them, they don't. And if somebody like Mel said, move next to him, whatever. Sooner or later, we make sure that he knows us, one way or other.
I think maybe there has to be some kind of like revamp in how we do that, right?
Yes.
It's like the clothes exchanges can still happen and the meetings
we
can
tried
still happen.
reuse.
Because
We
this is
tried
the
it
thing,
here. Clothes
the community
exchange.
centre and the clothes exchange
But
stuff
it
is
didn't,
like,
people aren't really coming forward, are they, for it?
That's
You know, the uniforms and that,
Yeah.
they're in the club.
Yeah, so
It's
there's
a
more
hard-
opportunity.
there's more opportunities for that. And I think
Yeah.
you're right that like when people know somebody, once you like recognise, even if it's just the face of someone, for you to nod and give someone a hello and how are you, could be the difference between like, you could be the only person that person speaks to, do you know what I mean? You never know where somebody's coming from. And I don't think anyone in this area anyone anywhere wouldn't want the connection of other people that they can trust and say hello to and know that they can, you know, nip to your neighbour's street and ask for a cup of sugar or get a pair of socks for your kid or whatever. I think it's like,
That hasn't gone away.
that hasn't
It
gone, I don't
hasn't,
think
no,
the
it's
need has
still
gone
there,
away, but
but
maybe the
it's
access
harder.
to it is.
Access.
I think for Little London there's possibility, right? There's so many opportunities here. There's so many people that have so many good skills that can come forward. How many people have we spoken to tonight who have said, oh, I could cook this, I could make this for you, I could produce these curtains or build this thing, or, you know, there's so many skills here. I think we just have to find an opportunity to utilise them. A community play, you know, would bring everyone together. You'd learn some languages, you'd eat some food, you'd spend time together, and then you would know however many people are in that performance for the next 20, 30 years of your life, you know. It only takes one moment for you to have that, and then you can crack on, you know.
In my community is Little London. In my community, I know my classmates, teachers, neighbours and kind local policewomen.
I have lived in my area for 10 years.
I attend the summer fair in my local park. It is important because everybody in my community attends there and you can make new friends.
I have realised that my community has changed for the better as it is now so secure that nobody can harm each other. They have made it more friendly for new residents.
In the future, I would like to see more recycling bins so people don't litter. Also, I would love to see more people planting more trees so they could attract wildlife.
I have lived in this community for over 7 years and I have an amazing neighbourhood who are always kind to me. My area has a lovely policewoman who keeps me, my school and my neighbours safe. In my local community, lots of people are very kind to new people and tourists. In the future, when I grow up, and I hope and I would like my children to have better opportunities to join clubs and lots of fun activities. To be honest, there aren't many clubs to attend in our area. I would like my community to improve by giving out fines to people who litter. That is very popular here. Also, I think that my group should add recycling bins. In the end, my community has changed for the better.
The community I live in has an amazing park, a good food bank, pharmacy and a community centre near my school. The neighbours are always kind and respectful to each other. To make our place safer, we could have more cameras and police officers around the place. There should be more events such as community days to make more friends and more clubs outside of school to have more fun.
I am living in the Little London community. I have been staying here since I was 1 year old. This local area is as welcoming as it looks. The people are friendly and are always ready to lend a hand. I have attended community events such as the Christmas Fund, the Little London Community Day. They're really fun and you get to enjoy with your friends. However, there are some changes I would like to see in the future. There is too much litter on the streets and drunk people running about. I usually trip on plastic bags and sometimes I can't sleep because of people partying late at night. I am looking forward to seeing our community grow and improve even more.
The community I live in is called Little London. I've lived here for over 10 years. The Little London has a park, schools, shops and clubs all around it. In the future, I would like to see more cleaner places without piles of litter on the ground and more recycling bins. I can imagine the community has changed for the better due to the stricter laws and rules.
My name's Sharon and I'm 13 years old and I live in London.
My name's Dante and I'm 13.
Where are you from?
From Leeds, London. My name's Cartel, 13. I'm from Jamaica. Where I got Jamaican, Barbados in me, and I'm from Leeds, like I live in Leeds, live in Little London.
My name's Kai. I'm from Leeds, and I'm 12.
My name's Daph, from Leeds, and I'm 12.
Cool. So who's the oldest here?
Cartel.
Nice. So you're in charge?
No.
Definitely not. Really not. The most irresponsible here.
He's charged of football, FC.
He's
Nice.
our gaffer, FC gaffer.
Our gaffer.
So you're the best at football?
No, FC.
But he's like the best at like doing skills and stuff. He's good at like.
I'm the best. Yeah. I met him year 2
because my cousin or family friend lives on his street.
I met him in year 2. I met him in year 4. I met him when we was babies, and I met him through Cherry.
How did you
I
two
met
meet?
Cherry like year
me.
Yeah, you two in the end. How did you guys meet?
Cousins.
Oh, nice.
Jaren, I made like year 4 in it. Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about Little London?
The vibes.
The community. The community.
No. And being next to town.
Yeah.
No, not even that. It's close basically to everything. Nothing's too far from Little London. It's kind of in the
You got
centre.
some nice people here.
Yeah,
like
nice
his
community.
mom, his mom.
The old ladies
Everyone
here are
over
really
here is
nice.
very nice to me.
And also it's very easy to socialise here, like kids in the park.
I make friends.
Yeah, with their parents and stuff, or like walking around maybe in a shop. Like, you know, you can just have a little chit chat with.
Yeah, I like
other
Adam.
people.
Sometimes he lets me off a lot of money.
Yeah, 50p.
Who's that?
The shopping type.
Make Bossman.
Yeah, most
especially
definitely.
for like people don't speak very good English. It's a good area to start with because like
Very
if
mixed
us, we'll
community.
help them. We'll help them.
It's diverse.
It's a very mixed community. You have
Like,
groups of different
like a
people
lot of
from different
Muslims,
continents.
a lot of Christians. Everyone understands each other.
Yeah, it switches it up a bit. You know, there's a better vibe. People from different places.
Just like the violence.
And it's not like boring new people come every day.
Yeah. And like the
think it's a very reliable place because, like, you know, there's a lot of shops. Well, we have 2 shops, a pharmacy and like charity shops. No, that got shut down. So like, it's kind of simple to get around. Like, if you want to get your groceries, there's Morrison's like 5 minutes away.
Oh, yeah, Morrison's.
If you want to get some snacks, shop right there. Like, you got one stop down
you
there.
wanna go to town, 10-minute walk.
10.
Like everyone knows each other. So like, if you see like
the council,
like
are
if you
really
see a
nice.
sibling's friend, like
you'll notice it.
mum or dad's friend or something, like they'll say hi and stuff when you're walking past, and maybe give you money sometimes.
It's not the biggest community, so people know each other. Like let's say I'm walking, and maybe it's someone who my brother knows. They'll probably recognize me, or like someone he knows. I'll probably recognize them because, like, you know, it's a pretty small community, so everyone knows each other.
Is it still recording?
It is, yeah. You want to do a little wave, a little dance?
Oh, why you do that?